it's SUHASHANI here and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're good, I hope you're well and that life is bliss. So it's about time. It's about time we do a poetry video because it has been a while, and also at the heart of this channel it is poetry. It's nice for me to finally sit down, pick a poem that I really feel like I want to make a positive impact for whoever is watching this right now and anyone who comes across it. So yes, I hope you guys enjoy this one. When I kind of go through my poems and talk through my thought process when writing them, I hope it gives a nice cozy wholesome vibe to try and set the scene. Definitely grab a cuppa. I feel like in my really old poetry videos I always say don't forget a hot drink, a tea, coffee, green tea, fruit tea, whatever tickles your fancy, because when we talk about poems and poetry and books, that's the sort of vibe I like to emulate. So the poem that I'm going to share and talk through, I feel as though it might be my most liked poem ever on my Instagram. Would you let life make you hide? Sometimes all you want to do is hide from the world. Wrap yourselves in an endless cocoon, away from pain, hurt, or insecurities. When this feeling arises, prepare to fight and watch yourself break free, because deep down, you will not let the world hide you, nor would you let life make you hide. It was my first poem of 2024, and the reason why I wrote it is because I was going through a form of disappointment, rejection, and a really, really difficult setback. But I don't want to share it because I think it's very, very personal. But what I would like to share is the feelings that I was experiencing, and the hurt, the pain, the insecurity of experiencing such a thing, whereby I needed to just write and get it out my system to then feel refreshed, a clean slate. And what way to have that sort of clean slate is at the beginning of the year. So I really wanted to write a poem like this where if anyone had felt as though they had a crappy end of the year or second half of the year or not a great 2023, I wanted to give that positive reinforcement and impact that, okay, whatever you have gone through in the last year, you're prepared to fight and you're prepared to pick yourself up and really just give it your all in the new year and reset your mind to go after your goals, to chase your achievements and to get back up after being knocked down 7 times. That's why it was important for me in a way to mark my own personal getting over the difficulty and challenge that I had faced and getting over that disappointment. I felt like this poem, Would You Let Life Make You Hide, was me saying to myself, but also anyone out there, you know, just because you have faced a failure, just because you have faced a setback, a challenge, a disappointment, a rejection, that doesn't mean then you're permanently hidden away from the world and now all of a sudden you can't be ambitious and now you can't feel like you can go out your way to achieve such a thing that you wanted to achieve, because you can. And you should never let the world and people inside the world to make you think otherwise, or whatever sort of factors or outcomes or consequences that have happened to you as a result of that, you then hide from the world and you just lock yourself up in a room and you just feel like you can't do it anymore. So yes, it was a reminder to myself to reignite that fighting power, that ambitious spark that I feel like I've always had since I was little, but also a reminder to anyone reading to be like, yeah, okay, this has happened. I have processed my feelings, my thoughts, and now I'm going to bounce back. Now I'm going to get up and correct what I feel like hasn't worked out, make improvements, better myself, and go after what I really want. I start off with, sometimes all you want to do is hide from the world. And the reason why I started off the poem like this is because I really wanted to set the tone, and I wanted to kind of really share that raw feeling from me as a writer slash poet to the reader on the other end, to be like, yeah, I get the feeling of just wanting to be hidden, to feeling that you've experienced such a challenge, such a difficulty whereby you just want to hide and you just don't want to speak to anyone. You don't want to feel like you want to hear anyone. You just want to hide from the world and just not be disturbed because you've experienced such a rejection or setback that you're just like, you know. It sets the tone for the reader, and it really hits home the message or impact that I want the person on the other end reading to feel like, yeah, I totally get that feeling, and I have been there either once or so many times throughout my life, and I share that same emotion that you have gone through. From that, I will go into the second line to really dive into that deep, raw emotion. Wrap yourselves in an endless cocoon, away from pain, hurt or insecurities. Again, that is exactly how I felt. I just wanted to hide. I just wanted to wrap myself in bed, just not having to face the pain, the hurt, the insecurities, the disappointments, and not meeting the expectation that I guess one puts for themselves. And it's important when you are going through something, you really sit and you really process that emotion, because if you don't, it just eats at you in small ways, and the way you kind of carry yourself, it really reflects. So the first 3 lines of this poem is really sitting in that raw emotion of rejection, disappointment, of the negative feelings, and processing that, and also understanding that it is okay to be like that for a while. No matter how long it kind of takes you to get over something, let yourself heal, let yourself have that time. But I think the important thing, again, that I would then start going through in the poem is to not stay in that place forever, to not be hidden forever, to not feel like you need to hide from the world because you haven't met your goals, it's taking you longer to achieve something. You might be ambitious and all of a sudden you feel like your life isn't where it's meant to be. There is always time. There is no age limit to ambition. When you are sitting with those emotions, it's important to really pick yourself up. And that's kind of what I want to get into in the 4th line, when I say, when this feeling arises, prepare to fight and watch yourself break free. And that is the turning point. The turning point of, okay, I've acknowledged that I'm feeling this way, I understand, and I'm not putting any of those emotions down, I'm really feeling them. But at the same time, whatever you are going through, it cannot knock you. You need to be prepared to fight, because you are the only person who can really fight for yourself, for your goals, for the life that you want, and to really make your dreams into reality. I say prepare to fight and watch yourself break free, and that is exactly that process of dropping all the negativity, dropping all the disappointment, and just the harsh things that one could say to themselves when they're really down and they're really in a dark place, to get rid of that completely and to just break free from it, to then come up to a newer, more positive, more ambitious, more determined version of yourself, to be like, I deserve better and I am going to get the best and I'm going to achieve the best. And just because one has gone through this and I've gone through this challenge, I've gone through this setback, that doesn't mean I can't overcome it. And so that is the mindset that I wanted to give the reader in terms of preparing themselves to fight. That when you are going through pain, hurt and insecurities, as much as you are really drowning yourself in negativity, you need to also have a side of you to be like, okay, I need to now not be like that with myself. I need to, I'm monitoring and being aware of how I'm talking to myself, and no, actually, I am wrong, you know, like I'm wrong to myself. If you're saying you're stupid, and if you're saying, oh, you shouldn't chase higher goals, you're acknowledging that and you're aware, you're telling yourself that. But now it's the moment of preparing to fight and being like, no, I'm not stupid. Yes, I'm allowed to chase those goals. I'm allowed to be ambitious regardless of how many challenges or setbacks, and I will get there. And that is the whole sort of mental war that anyone will have when they are going through such difficulties, and I certainly did have in my mind. Going through those emotions and thought process allowed me to then be like, no, I'm not okay with leaving things as it is. I'm not okay with just losing hope. I'm going to fight, and I am going to get over this, and I am going to come out the other end better, stronger, more confident, and there is a reason why I have to go through this. And it might just be like, okay, I haven't done enough for myself to achieve something. Religious perspective, for me, it's God wants me to see something, and that I've missed, or that I haven't learned, and maybe I'm not ready to go to the next step yet. So all these positive reinforcements to really make yourself feel better, so that you can mentally fight and pick yourself up after going through those emotions of negativity. I say because deep down you will not let the world hide you, nor would you let life make you hide. And that is really the crux of this poem, is regardless of whatever you're going through, don't give yourself an excuse to then feel like you don't deserve something, to feel like you can't achieve something, to almost feel like, okay, because all this has happened, now I'm just going to not socialise with people, I'm not going to talk to people, I'm not going to even be out in the world anymore because of embarrassment, because of failure, because of disappointment, because of not meeting my own personal expectations, and then as a result, I guess, disappointing those around you that you feel like want to celebrate your successes, your wins, and also feel that pain and that disappointment as well when you're going through such a low period. I say all of this because at the heart of it, you're not going to let the world beat you down. You're not going to let society tell you what you can and can't do, and you're certainly not going to let the things that happen in life make you become that way, to then be in the shadows, because you shouldn't be in the shadows at all. You only have one life. It's important to really make the most of it, and to feel like you can give it your all and have no regrets, and not let life make you hide, essentially. So that is pretty much my whole thought process of the poem. This piece specifically is really about the emotion, so there isn't as much poetry analysis that I can give you in comparison to other pieces that I've done. It really is about getting yourself out of that dark place and being okay with what has happened, accepting what has happened, and just figuring out your next steps to move forward, so that you can go out and achieve whatever you want to achieve, or get over this challenge, whether that's to do with health, education, lifestyle, or anything you really want to just do. Writing a poem like this has really helped me clear my mind, bring me back to my own self, where I'm happy and content and accepting of whatever happens in my life, but also knowing that, okay, I can accept things, but I'm also going to still do the best that I can and still try to create the life that I want. And hopefully down the line I will, because I believe that I will. And I think it's so important that people out there realise that. And sometimes it can be quite difficult to really mentally realise that yourself, and sometimes you need to read a really good book where you can link with a character, or you need to see a sign, a symbol, or something that is just going to start your thought process, or you need to read a poem that really makes you feel like you're not alone and starts triggering or gives you that click that you needed, that insight that you needed to then be like, oh, okay. And it gets you into like a transformative state of being, whereby you've gotten over everything and you're like, yeah, and it's just that click in the head. So I hope this piece and this video offers that to you. The ultimate message of this poem is, regardless of whatever happens, whatever you've gone through, don't feel like you need to dim down your lights. Don't feel like you need to hide from the world because you're not good enough, or you're not clever enough, or you're not pretty enough, or you're not rich enough. The whole message and the ultimate message is, you should not let the world and society and people's comments let you feel like you need to hide and just be in the shadow, or whatever life throws at you that then makes you feel like you need to be hidden. That's the ultimate message, is be bold, be you, be the best version of yourself in whatever shape or form, and love yourself enough to keep going and keep trying and to stay motivated, and you will get there. So that concludes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know it's been a short and sweet poem, but hopefully I will come back with a lot more, and I appreciate the time it's taken for you to watch this video, and I will see you in the next one. I have to play this song at least once every day, and I haven't listened to it today. That's just, I'm addicted to it. Addicted to it. Music makes such a difference, you know.